Let's begin this broadcast by bringing you up to speed with the COVID numbers in the country. On your screens right now, let's bring you the active cases in India. The active cases, while it's seeing an upward curve, it's down from the highs that we've been reporting, 9,73,158. Down from what the highs that we've been reporting up until now. Let's get you the number of deaths in India as well. At the moment, they stand at 3,74,305. Again, down from the highs that we've been reporting. So that's good news always. Let's see the recoveries in India. They've been quite stellar. 2,81,62,947. But the bad news is that is also down from what we've been reporting. And hence, the recovery figure going upwards would look slightly better on this particular curve. But having said that, if you see the graph is upward facing, and hence these recovery figures are something to take note of. We're also going to get you an encapsulation of the number of active cases, deaths, and the numbers discharged, with the focus being on the active cases at 9,73,158. One can't still let their guard down. After a steady decline in COVID cases and positivity rate, Delhi unlocks from today. As per the new guidelines, all the markets and malls are now going to be open between 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restaurants, public transport is going to be allowed to run with 50% of capacity. Public transport can ply with half the seating capacity, and only 2 passengers are allowed in auto rickshaws and taxis. However, this is being permitted for 1 week on a trial basis. If cases increase, then the government might impose stricter restrictions. Social, political, religious gatherings have been prohibited. Weddings will not be allowed in public places like banquet halls or hotels. It will be permitted only in closed spaces with not more than 20 people. Spas, gyms, yoga institutes, parks and gardens will remain closed for the public to break the chain of the virus. Ashutosh Mishra is now joining us live for the very latest. Ashutosh, Delhi unlocks. It's Delhi Unlock 3.0 we're talking about. If you could walk our viewers with the do's and don'ts so they have clarity in terms of what's open, what's not.
Well, COVID appropriate behavior, that is something really must, Chaiti. While the Delhi begins this Unlock 3.0 from Monday, from today, all malls are opening. The odd and even formula has done away with. And now the biggest relief for the Delhi and the people of Delhi is going to be the dining inside the restaurants allowed. So I'm now entering one of these restaurants, and this is how the COVID protocols need to be followed. Following the thermal scanning, sanitization process, this all is going to be a must inside the dining area in all the restaurants. As we know, the public transport are working only with the half of this capacity. The other transport mediums can carry only 2 passengers. So similarly, even in the restaurant, will be alternative arrangements. If there is one table, allowed for the family, or if you're coming to enjoy your food, the another will be vacant. So this is allowed to permit only to half of these capacities to permit. Here, the trade wing chairperson, CTI chairman Brijesh Goyal is joining me here. Siddharth, one of the industrialists, the businessman is joining me here. Amit, who owns these restaurants. Brijesh ji, कितना बड़ा अब इसको रिलीफ देख रहे हैं? ऑड इवन फार्मूला था, ऑड इवन के बाद अब रेस्टोरेंट भी खोले गए हैं. लगता है बिजनेस को भी पटरी पर मिलेगा, और रूल्स फॉलो करना कितनी बड़ी चैलेंजिंग है?
देखिए, दिल्ली में जो कोरोना संक्रमण की दर है वो 0.3% से भी नीचे आ गई है. तो समय की मांग थी. कोरोना से भी लड़ना है, इकोनॉमी का भी ध्यान रखना है. तो सरकार ने कल जो निर्णय लिया कि ऑड इवन फॉर्मूला खत्म किया. दिल्ली में तमाम तरह की दुकानें खुली हुई हैं, मॉल में दुकानें खुली हैं, रेस्टोरेंट 50% कैपेसिटी के साथ खोले हैं.
सिद्धार्थ, बिजनेस पटरी पर आ जाएगा जैसे से रिलैक्सेशन मिल रहा है, लोगों में एक डर होगा. तो आप जब इतना बड़ा मॉल ओन करते हैं, कितनी बड़ी चैलेंजिंग होगी जब इन्फ्लक्स होगा सैटरडे संडे? हाउ विल यू मेंटेन सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग, थर्मल स्कैनिंग, सैनिटाइजेशन प्रोसेस?
ये प्रॉब्लम तो हमने इवन लॉकडाउन 1 के बाद भी हमने ध्यान में रखी गई थी जब मॉल खोले गए थे, और आज भी मेरे ख्याल से ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज नहीं है. मैन पावर एक ऑर्गेनाइज रिटेल में वैसे भी अवेलेबल होती है. हमारे पास प्रॉपर सिक्योरिटी, सैनिटाइजेशन के लिए मैन पावर वगैरह सब कुछ अवेलेबल है, और ऑर्गेनाइज रिटेल में सब लोग एक दूसरे से कनेक्टेड है. हम कोई चीज़ बताते हैं तो सब लोग फॉलो कर पाते हैं उस चीज़ को.
वी हैव सीन द अरेंजमेंट दैट यू हैव मेड इन द रेस्टोरेंट. बिजनेस इससे पटरी पर आ पाएगा, और आपको लगता है लोगों को एक मदद मिलेगी, दोज हु हैव लॉक्ड देमसेल्व्स फॉर मंथ, फॉर वीक्स इन देयर होम. दिस विल बी सम लवली टाइम टू स्पेंड विद फैमिलीज एंड फ्रेंड्स नाउ.
Yeah, of course, like we are expecting this coming weekend would be a huge rush in terms of like the 50% कैपेसिटी हमारे पास जो है, तो हमको उतना ही उसको करना पड़ेगा, कैटर करना।
Heard, Amit, that this weekend perhaps there's going to be massive crowd, Chaiti, in all these restaurants area, particularly in the shopping malls. But as we know, the government has said they are going to observe this for a week. And if there is further surge, these, the restrictions will be back in place. So clearly the government is monitoring day-wise update on the COVID cases. But for now, it's really a good time for the people who can come out, enjoy their meal, have a good time with family and friends in the shopping mall and restaurant. So while I have my food now, back to you.
Oh, that's a fantastic report right there, Ashutosh, and also clarifies the do's and don'ts as far as Unlock 3.0 in Delhi is concerned. You enjoy your meal right there. In the meanwhile, as Delhi unlocks begin from today, my colleague Akshita Nandgopal is going to be shedding more light on what's open and what's not. Over to you, Akshita.
What's allowed and what's not allowed. Starting off with prohibited activities currently, you are seeing unlock, but all of this is still not allowed. Schools and colleges remain shut. The government hasn't given its nod for them to open up. All social, political, sports, religious gatherings remained prohibited, remained banned at this point. Swimming pools, stadiums, they've not opened up in this phase of unlock. Similarly, movie theatres and multiplexes are also not open. Malls may be open, but you cannot visit a theatre in the mall. Banquet halls and auditoriums, where people usually gather in large numbers for events, all of that remains closed. Spas, gyms, yoga centres will not be opening up in this phase of unlock. Similarly, public parks and gardens are also closed. This is something that's also triggered a huge debate because many have said that these are open areas. They can be opened up. But for now, the government has said no. Let me now explain to you what's open and what's allowed. So standalone neighborhood shops are all allowed to function. This was last week too. 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. is the time given to them. Restaurants are allowed to open in this phase of unlock. So this is a new update, a new guideline. But the condition is that they're allowed only with 50% capacity to ensure all norms of social distancing can be maintained. Weddings are allowed only at home. You cannot hold it in a banquet hall or in a hotel. And again, even at home, only 20 guests are allowed at this stage. Metros and buses, all your public transport in the national capital is functioning, but again with 50% capacity to ensure social distancing is maintained. Autos and taxis are plying on the roads of Delhi. They're allowed to ferry only 2 passengers besides the driver. Funerals, 20 people can attend. That is the norm, no more than 20, and masks, social distancing is a must. So that's what's changed as far as Delhi is concerned, as you're seeing the curbs now being slowly lifted face-wise.
As the number of cases are dipping in India, states are gradually opening up from stringent lockdown. Today, India registered 17,421 fresh cases, the lowest in the last 72 days, but that's a big figure, so one can't let the guard down as yet. 3,921 new deaths were also reported in 24 hours itself. With the current tally now, the active caseload in the country stands at 9,73,158. It's still a big figure. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin on Sunday announced more relaxations in many districts, including opening of park, tea shops, barber shops and liquor shops. Haryana government has also allowed the shops to open between 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Gyms in Haryana will be allowed to function with 50% capacity. In Maharashtra, malls, restaurants, bars, eateries, hotels can open but with 50% capacity. Karnataka government has allowed additional functional hours for essential shops. Government has also allowed industrial units to operate with 50% capacity. Let's get you what the unlock across the country really looks like on your screens right now. Let's begin with the state of Maharashtra. 50% seating in restaurants is going to be permitted. The restaurants are finally going to be happy about this. Salons, gyms open with curbs, business limping back to normalcy. Tamil Nadu, the park and tea shops are going to remain open. And liquor shops and barber shops also now open in the state of Tamil Nadu. Let's see what Haryana is doing. All shops open between 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. In Karnataka, more operational hours for essential items. Industrial units are also going to be running, but with 50% of capacity. Remember, one can't let the guard down just as yet with the kind of numbers that we're seeing in India. Now, there's no end to Covidiot netas also flouting norms. A BJP leader from Madhya Pradesh's Katni district celebrated his birthday flouting COVID norms. On your screens is a viral video. There you go. It's coming on your screens right now, where the BJP Youth Wing leader Mridul Dwivedi is celebrating a lavish birthday party in the presence of large crowd. Social distancing and mask norms went for a toss at the mega bash. After the video went viral, the BJP leader has now been fined 10,000 rupees by district administration. A 7-day home quarantine has also been instructed to those who were present at the party. A major controversy has come to fore in the Ayodhya Ram Mandir land deal. Aam Aadmi Party and Samajwadi Party have now alleged that a piece of land that was bought for 2 crore rupees from its owners was sold to Ram Janmabhoomi Trust for 18.5 crore rupees for the construction of Ram Temple. What makes the deal more suspicious is the claim that there was only a difference of 10 minutes in signing both the deals. And trust member Anil Mishra and Ayodhya Mayor Rishikesh Upadhyay are listed as witnesses in both the deals. Both Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay Singh and former UP Minister Pawan Pandey have raised concerns over the land deal, questioning who was the beneficiary of 16 crore rupees. Meanwhile, the members of the Temple Trust have said that the allegations, and that needs to be probed further.
जमीन की मालियत है 5 करोड़ 80 लाख रुपए लगभग, और ये जमीन 2 करोड़ रुपए में खरीदी गई कुसुम पाठक और हरीश पाठक से। खरीदने वालों का नाम है रवि मोहन तिवारी और सुल्तान अंसारी। ये जमीन खरीदी गई 7:10 पे, ये भी टाइमिंग है, देख लीजिए आप। 7:10 पे ये जमीन खरीदी गई और यही जमीन 5 मिनट के बाद रवि मोहन तिवारी और सुल्तान अंसारी से 18.5 करोड़ रुपए में राम जन्मभूमि ट्रस्ट ने खरीद लिया। 18.5 करोड़ रुपए में 5.5 लाख रुपए प्रति सेकंड। जमीन महंगे होते हुए कभी आपने सुना है?
मैं ट्रस्ट की मीटिंग की चर्चा कर रहा हूं, इससे अलावा यहाँ कोई अर्थ है ही नहीं विषय मेरे सामने। मंदिर के निर्माण में
एक आरोप लग रहा है, लखनऊ से लेकर यहाँ तक
हमको आरोप लगते ही रहते हैं। मैं 100 साल से आरोप ही देख रहे हैं हम लोग। हम पर महात्मा गांधी की हत्या के आरोप लगे, आरोप से हम चिंता नहीं करते। आप भी चिंता मत करिए, आप खूब लगाइए। यू आर यस, आई एक्सेप्ट, आई रेडी, यू आल्सो, यू डू इट। आप अपना काम करिए, हम अपना काम करेंगे।
ट्रस्ट का कुछ कहना है इस बारे में?
नहीं कहना, अभी स्टडी करेंगे।
देखिए, पहले तो इस प्रकार का संभव नहीं है कि रामलला के लिए ट्रस्ट जो बना है वो इस प्रकार का कोई भी घोटाला करेगा। इस पर तो जांच होने पर ही पता चलेगा। लेकिन जो लोग गलत तरीके से आरोप लगा रहे हैं उन पर यह आरोप लगाना गलत है। पहले जांच होना चाहिए कि ये बात सही है। यदि सही है तो जो कुछ हुआ उस पर विचार किया जाएगा, और नहीं तो ये रामलला का अपमान है, रामलले के पैसे का अपमान है, दान का अपमान है।
ऋषिकेश जी, आप दोनों मामलों में विटनेस हैं और 2 करोड़ की जमीन 5 मिनट के बाद 18 करोड़ 18.5 करोड़ में बिक जाती है। ये क्या है? सब लोग यही जानना चाहते हैं, आखिर 2 करोड़ की जमीन 18.5 करोड़ में कैसे हो गई?
देखिए, श्री राम जन्मभूमि तीर्थ क्षेत्र ट्रस्ट ने प्रेस रिलीज जारी कर दी है। वह ज़मीन उन्होंने दर्शाया है कि वो वर्षों पूर्व उनके अनुबंध की ज़मीन थी। वो ट्रस्ट प्रेस विज्ञप्ति भी जारी किया है और आज उसको क्लियर भी करेगा कि कब की उनकी ज़मीन है। तो राजनीतिक लोगों ने इसको उठाया है और अनावश्यक इसमें तिल का ताड़ कर रहे हैं। दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी, वो क्लियर हो जाएगा।
लेकिन ट्रस्ट क्लियर करेगा, लेकिन आप मेयर हैं, तमाम चीज़ें आपकी जानकारी में हैं, तो ये कौन सा खेल ऐसा हुआ, वही तो जानना चाह रहे हैं। कौन सा खेल ऐसा हो गया कि ये 2 करोड़ की ज़मीन 18, क्या ये ज़मीन का रेट बढ़ गया, क्या हुआ?
कोई खेल नहीं, मैं बता रहा हूँ ना। ट्रस्ट ने प्रेस रिलीज जारी कर दी है, जो उसने अपने एक लाइन में कर दिया कि वर्षों पूर्व उनका अनुबंध था, उन्होंने अपने अनुबंध की रजिस्ट्री कराई, ट्रस्ट ने उनसे अनुबंध किया है। वो सारी चीज़ क्लियर है उस पत्र में भी, बाकी भी ट्रस्ट उसको क्लियर करेगा।
विपक्ष के लगातार अनावश्यक बयानों से सिवाय एक धुंधलापन या किसी भी अभियान के प्रवाह को कुंद करने की जो कोशिश हो सकती है वो अपनी जगह है, लेकिन इससे कहीं ना कहीं एक महान उद्देश्य को पूरा करने में वो अवरोध पैदा कर रहे हैं। ये देश की जनता को समझने में बहुत विलंब नहीं होगा।
Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao's decision to provide 32 luxury cars to additional collectors amidst the pandemic has drawn flack from the opposition parties. Each car is valued at about 30 lakh rupees. These cars have been bought to facilitate the visit of additional collectors to villages. When the state exchequer is in bad condition due to less revenue and medical infrastructure is insufficient, spending huge amount of money on luxurious cars has become a matter of criticism for KCR government. BJP pointed out that the State Finance Minister Harish Rao had made statements recently that the state lost massive revenue due to lockdown and questioned the need for such a splurge when the state is reeling under severe financial crisis.
The whole world is suffering due to COVID, and so is Telangana, and there is a serious financial crisis. In this financial crisis times, Mr. Kalvakuntla Chandrasekhar Rao has the audacity to buy 32 Kia cars for his 32 additional collectors, new Kia cars for his additional collectors. I am only wondering if this government is colluded with the Kia Motors to provide them some kind of a financial relief in this COVID time.
BJP denounces the decision taken by CM KCR to buy 32 ultra-luxury vehicles, Kia Carnivals, and present them to the additional collectors of the state. How can a state showcase this kind of opulence when they are a revenue deficit state?
A Dominican magistrate court will today begin hearing into Mehul Choksi's illegal entry into country, a charge that he denied. The hearing in the magistrate court comes after Dominican High Court on Friday denied bail to Choksi and deemed him a flight risk. Choksi has alleged that he was abducted from Antigua, beaten up and forcibly brought to Dominica. The fugitive has filed a repeat petition for his bail in the Dominican High Court that is also likely to come up for the hearing today. Meanwhile, India has approached the Dominican High Court seeking to be impleaded as a party in the case filed by Choksi. India today has also learned that CBI and External Affairs Ministry have sought to implead a habeas corpus petition filed in the Dominican High Court. Sources also say that the CBI is likely to focus on establishing criminal culpability of Choksi, his fugitive status, red notice, while the External Affairs Ministry will argue that Choksi continues to be an Indian citizen.